So it looks like Oscar De La Hoya has a lot to say when it comes to Canelo's next fight, which is September 14th with 168-pounder Edgar Berlanga. You know, he was supposed to fight William Skull, but Canelo decided not to for whatever reason, and that cost him the IBF belt. He's finally been stripped of his IBF title, and he still has 3 other titles. And Edgar Berlanga has a chance to go up against Canelo to take them belts. Stay tuned soon for a prediction video. I'm gonna get into that a little bit in the next video, maybe the next 2 videos. But yeah, Oscar De La Hoya, man, he's had some choice words, man. Pretty much saying, look, you know, this dude is ducking them David Benavidez for Edgar Berlanga, and he's criticizing him for fighting Berlanga instead of Benavidez, and he says also his pay-per-view numbers might be at stake because he's fighting on the same day as a UFC event that's also taking place, right? And Oscar says, you know, nobody asked for this fight, and I gotta agree, nobody asked for this fight, man. Nobody, well, at least, well, we already had an idea that he had a few options, you know. It was gonna be that William Skull dude, Edgar Berlanga. We was hearing talks about Edgar Berlanga before he even fought Jaime Munguia. We thought that he was gonna fight Edgar Berlanga before he fought Jaime Munguia. Then it was talks of Jamal Charlo. You know, he was thrown in the mix, and I'm like, bro, these are just fights that were. If you fought Charlo, man, that would have been a pretty much just a warm up fight, because he would have probably beat the holy hell out of Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo ain't all the way there yet, man. You know, and Edgar Berlanga, many people believe is going to be an easy fight, but like I said, I'll talk about that on my prediction video. And Oscar De La Hoya is right. You know, my thing is, what has Berlanga really done? What has he done to deserve a fight with Canelo Alvarez? You know, when Demetrius Andrade crashed Canelo's press conference a few years back, you know, wanting to get the fight with Canelo, Canelo's words were, man, he fight nobody. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. You want payday. Yeah, you want payday. Yeah. So my thing is, you know, what has Edgar Berlanga really done to really deserve a Canelo fight? You know, he didn't want to fight William Skull. You know, he didn't fight Charlo, thankfully. So I'm like, okay, he didn't. Benavidez, it was talks of Benavidez going back down to 168 from what I was hearing. Don't look like that's happening. Benavidez say he's staying at 175. So who the fuck else is there at 168? He just beat Jaime Munguia. He cleaned out everything else, really, right? And if you think about it, there ain't nobody really there besides David Morrell was there. I think he's going up in weight. And then you had Edgar Berlanga. When you look at the rankings, Edgar Berlanga is now he's number 9 ranked in the WBC. He is number 1 in the WBA. Berlanga, he's number 4 in the IBF. He won't be fighting for that belt because Canelo just got stripped for it. And then in the WBO, he's ranked number 4. You know, and if you, like I said, he's ranked in these weight classes, but I'm like, okay, what the hell has he really been doing? He hasn't. I mean, he's been winning, but like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? There's other dudes that's. It's not like he's ranked number 1 in the WBA. Okay, cool. So maybe that's why he earned his shot. But then, bro, you got all these other. You got Kristen and Billy. I mean, he just beat Munguia. Some of these other dudes, I don't even know who the fuck they are, to be honest with you. So you got Beck the Bully, you know, Beck the Bully's number 5, but he beat the shot of Beck the Bully, though. I already know that. But so when you think about it, man, when you look at it in that way, there's really nobody else with some kind of name at 168. You know, I guess Edgar Berlanga brings the mysterious fact of the knockouts, and he has some punching power. So man, maybe that, you know, then you got the Puerto Rico versus Mexico. So there's a lot of fans. So now when I look at it like that, that's probably why they picked Edgar Berlanga over anybody else. Because they figure, look, if he would have fought William Skull in the 14th, you know, who was his fan base? You know what I mean? And to even compete and at least have some really good numbers against that UFC event, he probably ain't gonna do it with nobody else but a Edgar Berlanga. To be real, Edgar Berlanga is probably the only other name that's known at 168 right now. He beat all the other names, so you know now I'm sitting back looking at the rankings. That's probably why this is happening, because nobody else can bring the fan base in, is not as known as an Edgar Berlanga. That's it. So that's what this is about, I guess. Even though to me, you know, I don't think these dudes is on Canelo's level. But just saying, that's probably why they picking this guy. And I think that's what it is. It's because the fan base and being able to at least compete with the UFC numbers, you know what I mean? And Edgar Berlanga is probably the only one, even though he's not really he hasn't really done anything in the sport, but he does bring the Puerto Ricans fan base. You know, so that shit matters, man. So this is why I said this boxing shit is a business. Canelo is pretty much just a businessman boxer, bro. That's all he is, man. The strangest thing, he wants to take the easiest routes as possible. The strangest thing is David Benavidez would have been a bigger name than Edgar Berlanga. If he still was at 168, it would have been David Benavidez. He was a champion before. He's looking great in his fights. He putting in pain at 168. But this dude ain't want to fight David Benavidez. So you got other people saying, though, that they think David Benavidez was the one that's ducking Canelo. And that's just, to me, the most silliest thing I've ever heard. But hey, they want Benavidez to hang off of Canelo's jock while he don't carve his own legacy. And he been trying to fight the dude, and he said himself he don't want to fight him. Then he started talking about, I'll fight him for 150. Come on, you know, it's ridiculous, man. It's Canelo dude, man. He's something else. But through it all, I totally agree with Oscar De La Hoya, man. He's not very fond of Canelo, and I think a lot of people feel the exact same way, man. And after this Berlanga fight, man, who knows what's next for Canelo? Is he going to retire? Because who else is he going to fight, bro? He's at 168. He ain't going back up to 175. His power ain't really translating up there. That's why I told everybody I think that Kovalev fight was real suspect. But he ain't moving back up there because then he got to see David Benavidez. And he definitely going to have to see him. You know what I mean? So that's not going to happen. 168 is pretty much dry after Edgar Berlanga. So what's left for him is the Terence Crawford fight. I think that's going to probably be his last fight against Terence Crawford. I think it's probably going to be Berlanga, and then I think Terence Crawford is probably going to be his last fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo retires after that, or he fights Berlanga, takes some other light touch. Maybe he goes and fights Billy, or I doubt he'll fight Billy. Probably fight like a Beck the Bully. Don't be surprised if you see a Beck the Bully fight with Canelo and then Terence Crawford. And then he walks off into the sunset and retires from boxing. But this Canelo dude is a trip, man. He's a nifty dude, but he's a goddamn trip, man. He's really an interesting character. And it's sad because I did still want to see that Benavidez fight, but hey, can't make him fight, bro. You don't want to fight, you don't want to fight him. And that's some coward shit, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me know what you think, man. It's your boy, Rebel Life Boxing, and I'll catch you on the next one. And I'm off this.